you know, half of you or more than half of you wants to start a company. So then there's a question of incorporation. What kind of entities do we have? How do we incorporate? I just, you know, just sidestep, I just gathered a couple of elements that might be useful for you guys as startups or as startups to be. If you have questions, you know, abuse me this hour for free information. It's okay. I'm here now until approximately 12 o'clock, so ask me if you have, you know, a question already. I will deal now with incorporation. I will talk a little bit about contracts, and I will talk a little bit about IP. I think then you have three elements which are quite important for startups. Incorporation. I'm talking about the Netherlands situation. I'm a Dutch lawyer, so I cannot advise you on Belgium entities or German entities. So, you know, you have to know this. Important factors when choosing the corporate entity are convenience. You know, what works for you. What is do you want really a big structure? Are there reasons to overstructure the company because you have investors, you have know-how, you have very valuable IP rights? Tax pressure. This is the leading element also in the Netherlands, I think, worldwide. You don't want to pay a lot of taxes, of course. You know, the threshold or the pressure of taxes must be as low as possible. So this is a leading element in choosing your entity. Liability is very, very important and a very neglected element of choosing the corporate entity. We all go and all the accountants advise you only on the tax pressure element, which is, of course, you know, makes sense because it's money out of your pockets. You don't want the money you make in your first 3 years to go to the tax authorities. You want it in your pocket, reinvest it in the company, of course. So they only advise you on the tax element and not on the liability element. Try to limit your liability as much as possible. It depends on the type of company you have. You know, if you're a marketing company like I have, then there is not a lot of liability issues going on. You know, I can make an ad campaign for someone. You know, they don't get as much attention as we aimed for, but you know, the lawsuit is not around the corner. I have a client who is making medical apps, and this medical app can save someone's life. You know, you put the new iPhones, they have this touch, this how do you call this, fingerprint element on it, and they can tell you if you need to go to the doctor. If he sort of screws up on the coding of that software, he can get a medical lawsuit. You know what I mean? But there's a big difference of the type of businesses you are doing, and every type of business deserves its own liability protection. So, you know, if you're in a medical business, you should think about getting all the liability limitations you can think of. If you're just a marketeer, or you're a journalist, or something like that, or you're just advising on the low level scale, then you know you could go for the tax element, not paying too much taxes. It will then be the most decisive factor. Administrative cost is also a very important one because some corporate entities are just more expensive to maintain on a yearly basis. You know, and you want to slim down the costs on your startup. You know, that the startup cost should be as low as possible in the beginning. That is the wise way to set up a company.